just a thought on what Brad Malone and Adam Cracknell and how important those guys are for, you gave them a couple games each, but how important they are in terms of, from an organizational perspective and assisting you developing your young players?
Well, we talk, in the NHL about your leadership core and your core people driving the thing, and you have to have leaders down in the minors that help your young players, especially, real young players that end up in the minors that are building their game. So those are two guys that are good, solid veterans. They've had experience in the NHL. One of the things down there we look at is it's not coaches just don't develop players. Players have to develop players, and you need people in the locker room that are veteran guys that have been through the trials and tribulations of the NHL and can pass some of those lessons along. So both of those guys are well-spoken guys, well-liked in the dressing room, and we wanted to make sure that they felt like they were part of our organization here, even though they're not on NHL contracts, but they're important to our organization to help develop our kids.
Broberg and Berglund together again tonight. Yeah. What did you see out of that pairing last night, and maybe just an overall assessment? I think this is their fourth preseason game together.
Yeah, that was probably Broberg's best exhibition game so far. He looked more comfortable. He's just, as camp has gone on, he's starting to get up to the speed of things. So hopefully, all those guys, we're trying to put them in as many games as we can right now and give them as much experience as we can. We'll see where it goes, but they'll play again tonight. I knew Broberg before from being in the bubble around. This is my first time with Berglund. Berglund's a solid player. He's just a quiet, does a lot of things right player. You don't notice him either good or bad, and sometimes for a defenseman, especially a young defenseman, that's a good thing.
Looking at your depth guys, specifically the bottom three, in training camp everybody gets excited when somebody kicks in a goal, but even if a guy gets 12 goals for you over the course of the season, there's still about 70 games where he has to make an impact when he's not scoring.
Yeah.
When you're evaluating guys, is that as much of what you're looking for?
Yeah, there's got to be stability down there too. You just, and we've played those guys a lot, and they're going to continue to play them. Benson won't play tonight. He's got dealing with a bit of a groin issue, so he won't be in tonight. But those guys that are battling for those spots in the bottom will continue to play them and evaluate where they're all at. But you need those guys. That's one of the things. We need more than just a few guys scoring. We need to have a little more balanced attack. And it's like you say, it's not. We're not looking for 30 or 40 goals. We're looking for 10 or 12 or 8. From a bottom guy. And that's, if we get that, I think you'll start to see that balance come around.
Can there be guys who haven't scored yet but are still sort of winning themselves a spot with what they're doing when?
Yeah, we've got some guys. We've got a lot of people that played solid. Like that game last night, you went through our lineup. You couldn't find anybody that you felt like played hard, give everything they had. But that being said, there's you have to find ways to get things accomplished too. So it's a continued evaluation. We've got Perlini has been able to get has capitalized on some chances. McLeod's had some chances, hasn't capitalized as much. Benson's had some chances. That early game against Calgary had some real good chances. So we'll continue to monitor that and just see where everything falls out.
Dave, you got Cassian playing with Leon and Nugent Hopkins. Is that, obviously you're sitting Yamamoto, but do you still want to see if Cassian can be an up and down second line player?
Yeah, we're playing there. I wanted to play Yamo in Washington, where those guys wanted to play in Washington. I wanted to give Hyman a game on the road before the end of preseason here. So Fogle will go up there tonight with McDavid, and it's just good for those new guys to get integrated a little bit with different people. And Cass, before camp started, he was playing a lot with Draisaitl and Nuge on the line in practice, so we'll give him a shot there tonight and see how it goes.
And you mentioned McLeod. For a young player, he's got lots of attributes. He can skate, he can kill penalties, he's big. Is it the last 15 feet to the net where he transports the puck up, but he has to slow down a little bit once he gets close to the net?
Yeah, but I think that's some of that is just it's continue to grow as a player. He's done it at the American League level now. Now he has to just continue to grow until it comes at the NHL level. But he's getting himself in position. Like you say, is just not finishing that last little bit. And As he continues to grow as a player, you'll see that last little bit fill in.
Will we be seeing Josh Archibald on the ice anytime soon?
I don't think so. We're going to, I'll maybe address it a little more tomorrow. We practice tomorrow, but we're getting kind of collecting all his data from his tests here, and we're going to chat about it with him tomorrow morning.
And Sevier, it looks like every game you got him playing a different position.
That's exactly what we told him it was going to be coming in, and he feels like that's one of his strengths, so we'll continue to do that. He's a good utility player, understands the different positions, the different roles that he's put in, and so that's part of the evaluation process for him.
And Konovalov is still here. Lots of times teams get down to 3 goalies with only a little bit of time, but he's played so well in camp, you still want to have another look at him, maybe playing half a game?
Give it time, Jim.
So when's the cut coming? Okay.
Wow. How about we tell him before we tell you?
Oh, I'm just, the question was, I mean,
We'll be down to 3 this week.
okay, thank you.
To follow up on the goaltending, sorry, back here, Dave. The goaltending situation. You know, you lost Alex Stalock coming into camp, and what does a performance like that from Stuart Skinner kind of mean for him and for you guys to have maybe a little trust in a number 3 if you need to have that?
Well, it gives you confidence, you know, because you see how much he's grown. Even from last year, he jumped in a game and he was all right in the game, but went down and worked hard and took a huge share of the games down there. But has come in this year, and he's like a lot of players. They come in, especially in that position, as they get older and they learn how to work, they learn how to manage their game. The maturity comes in, and now they look like a better player. And he not only looks like he's a better player, he is a better player. You know, in that game last night, he was solid all the way through it.
The pairing tonight of Nurse and Bouchard. What are you looking for out of that pair? What intrigues you about the possibility of those two playing together, even if it's just for tonight?
Well, I wanted to play Barry on the road last night. I don't want to play him back-to-back is the main gist of it, but Bush has played well. We wanted to give him a game off, and we'll get Nurse and Bush, give him a try tonight and see how it goes.